and welcome to Trading Hour on CNBC TV18. I'm Ekta Batra and with me is Prashant Nair. Well, it is turning out to be a day where we are seeing follow-on buying. So that really is the big trend to talk about in today's trading session. We have the Nifty, which is up around 0.4%, and we have the mid-cap index, which is continuing in terms of outperformance. So we have the mid-cap index, which is up around 0.7%. Week to date, it's picked up around 3% in terms of weight as compared to the Nifty, which is also in the green on a week-to-date basis. Remember, only 2 trading sessions at the point in time. But nonetheless, it is a positive day, and we're continuing in terms of momentum. A lot of stocks to talk about. We have the likes of Edelweiss, DHFL, and a lot more lined up in the next 1 hour. Hi, Prashant.
Ekta, hi. I think the story, of course, as you said, is continuation, but also the fact that you're starting to see maybe the first signs of, fatigue or profit taking, which is emerging. The intradays on the mid-cap and the small-cap index will tell you exactly that. We're off the high on the mid-cap index. The high today was 17,563. We are at 17,496. The high in the small cap index was 6,423. We are at 6,394. So, I mean, it's not some huge sell-off or anything of that sort. But the fact is that in the last 2.5 odd weeks or so, 10 trading sessions approximately, both these indices have done between 8 and 10%. So, that bounce has been substantial. And, you might say, well, this rally is a pre-election rally and it may well turn out to be one which may continue for a while. But the fact is that there is still time left. I mean, we don't even have the election dates yet, should be out this week. But, there is still time left. Campaigning will get into full swing. Perceptions will change. And, the market sense of, well, who's ahead, who's behind, I mean, that will keep fluctuating a little bit. So it's entirely possible that you don't get a one-way sort of move right into the elections because, I mean, over the last fortnight or so, over the last 1 week actually, things did appear to seem like the NDA, led by Mr. Modi, has got an advantage and it's actually inching ahead. But as I said, there is some time left for elections and that perceptions may change and vary a little bit. The real move, remember, should come rather, once we get past the elections and we have the results. I mean, actually, I have some interesting data in terms of how markets have done, say, 3 months before elections and 3 months after elections, and I'll put that up in a little bit from now. And going back the last 5 or 6 general elections on that front. So I'll do that in a bit. For now, there is some profit taking which is visible in the broader space, mid caps and small caps. Sudarshan is with us as always on the top of the show. Sudarshan, good morning. Thanks very much. 50 points on the Nifty. Broadly speaking, the direction is still higher. What would you do?
Yeah, good morning. Well, yesterday we were buyers and today we want to take profits. We've had a very handsome rally from yesterday's lows, 10,800 to 11,000. For 2 days, this is good enough. And world markets are not supportive. So this is a rally. I think we were all bottled up. The markets were willing to take this chance and there was some risk on. All that is behind us. This is a very good time to take money off the table for your short-term long positions and step aside. It is possible to buy something in mid caps, and I'm going to explain some of the stocks that are looking interesting to buy. But for the primary indices, Nifty and Nifty Bank, take your positions off, take profits and step aside.
Okay. Sudarshan, stocks that you would be recommending, and I wanted your opinion on DHFL as well. Considering the move that we've seen today, does it give you confidence on the technicals at all?
Well, it's not technically oriented anymore because DHFL is working on news. It fell down so much, that was purely on news. And the rally today is also that. I think at some point, once the news dissipates and the stock starts consolidating, then an opportunity may come to examine and have a view on it. As of now, it's best to leave it alone unless you have some fundamental, view on it. But stocks are offering opportunities all over. Bajaj Auto is a buying opportunity. The stock has been outperforming. It's been in a trading range and surprisingly that range is breaking on the upside now. TCS among the large caps is doing well. We had a sharp correction in TCS. That correction seems to be getting over. At least for the day there is momentum and we should be considering buying it. And finally UBL, United Breweries, is a buying opportunity. So there are mid caps primarily where buying should be done and profits taken in the index.
Okay, we got a question coming your way, Sudarshan. So Sundar Raj holds 200 shares of Exide. His purchase price is 263.5. The stock's at about 225 now, I think, and he wants to know what to do. Excite, Sudarshan, your call.
Yeah, yes. See, the call is whatever your purchase price was is irrelevant now. We have to start from today. At this point, Excite seems to be suggesting that a base is building and it's willing to go higher. So I would say stay with your stock, hold on for a year, and you'll probably make money.
Okay, all right. So Darshan, we're going to let you go on that note. Thanks very much for joining in and speaking with us. Well, we have an approval which is coming for Natco from the US FDA. I just want to point that out. It is for Gleevec generic, which is basically a cancer drug, and they are in partnership with Lupin for it. So Lupin will be the marketing partner for this particular drug. Remember, a lot of other companies also received approval for Gleevec yesterday. So it's pretty much become quite generic. Remember, it used to be a big opportunity for Sun Pharma at one point in time. But the other big stock in focus has to be DHFL, which is the top mid-cap index gainer, as an independent chartered accountant audit report on the Cobra Post allegations has given the company a clean sheet. Abhishek joins in with more details on this. Abhishek, I remember in the conference call, this was actually one of the key things which were brought out by, I think, a couple of investors who asked that when exactly are you going to respond to all of those allegations. So this should bode well.
This is actually a big clean sheet, against all the allegations that were mentioned in the Cobra Post. So company has released an independent auditor's report on the, Cobra Post allegations that it has received. So the company has not promoted any of the 26 shell companies that are borrowers as stated in the Cobra Post is what the what the report says. And there is no merit in allegations of about 14,000 odd crores, in terms of loan given to known borrowers, that is 45 borrowers, although a small amount of about 1700 crore is mentioned as related party transactions. The loans for SRA development there may have been used to buy shares amounting to 17 crores of Darshan developers. That is what the report highlights. So in total, there is not all clean, but there are certain lapses and departures from the SOPs and policies laid by the companies are identified, but it's a huge relief for the company. Back to you.
Okay, 152 plus. The stock is higher by about almost 14%. Edelweiss is the other one. It's also up. It's off the highs, but still about 7% gains. It's gotten about 1,800 crores in fund infusion from the Canadian fund manager, CDPQ. CDPQ, of course, has got investments in other arms of Edelweiss as well. I mean, this has happened over the last 2 years or so. But this investment goes into the NBFC business. Abhishek is here with the details and what this does to Edelweiss's capital adequacy, etc. Abhishek.
Well, Edelweiss has mentioned that CDPQ will invest over 1,800 crore in their NBFC business, that is ECL Finance Limited. Now, this is not the first time that CDPQ is participating in Edelweiss. Way back in 2016, CDPQ had picked up over 20% in terms of stake in Edelweiss ARC, or the asset reconstruction business. So, Citi mentions that this deal is positive for capital adequacy, but does not, immediately help the liquidity scenario. And in terms of percentage to RWA, this is about 3% of the risk-weighted assets of Edelweiss, which is at 58,000 crores. So Morgan Stanley says that prima facie, this should be positive for the stock, should build investors' confidence into the stock and strengthen the balance sheet of the company. Back to you.
Okay. All right, Abhishek, thanks very much for that. So those are two stocks in the financial space, DHFL and Edelweiss, amongst the top gainers by far in a trade right now.